Good morning, children. In my last video, I started with a new chapter of endocrine system, and I explained you the introduction, the difference between the nervous control and endocrine gland, and what are glands and how many types of glands are there, that is endocrine and exocrine gland, and their differences. I told you glands are the parts of the body which secrete certain chemical substances. And these glands are of two types: endocrine glands. They are also called ductless glands, and the substance they secrete, the chemical substance that they secrete, are called hormones. Hormones are also called chemical messengers. Exocrine glands, the second group of glands, are duct bearing glands. The chemical substance they secrete are called enzymes. The endocrine glands, why they are called ductless glands? For they do not bear the ducts to carry their secretion and to be poured out from that. These glands, they secrete their chemical substance directly into the blood, and blood carries it and transports it to the required organ where that hormone is going to act. Exocrine glands are duct bearing glands. These are those glands which will be having a tube like structure called duct, and through the duct the chemical substance is poured out called enzymes, and that particular enzyme will will carry the function and will act on the part where it has to act. Now, the chemical nature of hormones. There are so many types of hormones, and these are organic compounds of different chemical nature. Chemically, some hormones, they are proteins. Basically, they are protein in nature. For example, follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone. Some of them are peptides in nature, like adrenocortical tropic hormone, oxytocin, vasopressin as the example. Some of them are steroid in nature, that is fats. Steroids are the group of fats, all the sex hormones. Or some of them are the derivatives of amino acids, like thyroxine, epinephrine, etc. These hormones, when you will do in detail, you will come to know their functions also. So chemically, what are they made up of? That I have told you. Now we will come to characteristics of hormone, the properties of hormone. So so many points are given. So we'll just go through each and every point. Hormones, as we all know, are the secretions of endocrine glands and are transported through the blood, by the way of blood. That is, they are being transported from the endocrine glands to their target organ through the blood. These hormones, they will act from the site of their secretion. Supposing that one of the endocrine gland is secreting the hormone, and the blood will carry it to the organ which is far from the site of secretion, and that organ is called target organ on which this hormone is going to act. For example, the testes, they are present outside the abdominal cavity of males. Those testes produce a sex hormone, testosterone, and the function of this hormone is to develop the secondary sexual characters in males. That is, in the adolescent age, the puberty stage comes, then the deepening of voice, then development of beard and mustaches are seen on the face of the males. It is because of testosterone. So the endocrine gland is testosterone, which is on the lower side outside the abdominal cavity, and this hormone through the blood is traveling and is bringing the effect on the development of beard, on the deepening of voice, that is on the anterior part of our body. So the target organ is away from the site of production. So though they always act from the site of their secretion, their action is always at a distant place called target organ. They are secreted and required in very small quantities. Very small quantity of hormone is required. Its over secretion will also cause abnormality in the human beings. Its under secretion, that is less secretion than required amount, will also cause some sort of disorder in the body. So both ways it is harmful. The hyposecretion means the under secretion, and hypersecretion means over secretion of hormones is always harmful. So whatever amount is required by the body, that is very little quantity, that much is sufficient to regulate the functional activities of our body. Then they are secreted and required in very small quantities. They are organic compounds of different nature and are soluble in water. I have told you these are the organic chemical compounds of different nature. Some are protein in nature, some are amino acids in nature, some are peptides in nature, some are steroid in nature. So accordingly, they are of different chemical compounds. These hormones may speed up, they may accelerate, or inhibit means they slow down. They can stop, they can slow down the specific physiological process, that is a particular functional activity. If that organ is carrying the function slow, then the hormone will accelerate it. If the functional activity of that particular organ is very fast, then to slow it down, the hormones will be there to control it. So they regulate the functional activities of our body. They are usually used up in their regulatory functions. That is, I have told you, they help in regulating the functional activity of the body, so that the body, the organ may function in a proper speed, in a proper way, neither too fast nor too slow. All the hormones are their specific action. All the hormones are specific in nature. Specific means they are particular in nature. A particular type of hormone will act on the organ on which it has to get the work done, and will regulate the functional activity of that organ. And that hormone will have no effect on other organs. So they are specific in nature. So the hormone which is required to regulate the functional activity of the organ, it will be effective on that organ, and the other organs will show no effect if the hormones come to them also. Hormones are very specific in their action, and they do not initiate any chemical reactions. Slow in action, the hormones are generally, these hormones, when they are produced, they are carried, they are transported by the blood to the target organ, and in order to regulate the functional activity of that organ, they are slow in carrying the process. These hormones will not immediately, if they will reach to the organ and immediately will get the result of the action. No, it will take time to regulate that functional activity. Feedback inhibition. Hormones usually work on the principle of feedback inhibition, feedback mechanism. Feedback inhibition or feedback mechanism means the secretion of hormone is stimulated, may be accelerated, or may be slowed down by the end product of its activity. Supposing the hormone, when is activating the body organ to carry on its function, and the functional activity is very fast in producing the product. For example, that organ is meant to produce the product, to produce its hormone, so that more of the hormone is being produced by that particular organ, or more of that organ is being activated fast to carry its functional activity than the required, according to the requirement of the body. Then these hormones will give a feedback to that organ to slow down its activity. So that to slow down its secretion, so that the activity may slow down. Similarly, if the particular organ is functioning very slowly and the secretion is being secreted very slowly, then the hormone will be responsible to give a feedback, to feedback to that organ, to speed up to accelerate or speed up its secretion, so that the functional activity may go on fast. then prepare the body to cope with emergency. Hormones produced in the body, they also, some of the hormones, they help the body to bear the any emergency situations that comes. For example, some infection is there, some trauma is there, some fear is there, emotional stress, some sexual desire. All these are being, the body is being made to adapt. The body is being made to bear all these conditions and control these conditions so that it may not affect our body. That is being done by hormones. They are harmful both when secreted in excess. Hypersecretion is excess, or in deficiency, that means hypo. Hypo means less, hyper means more. I have explained you this point with the point number 3. It is related to this point. Then the hormones are not stored in the body. The hormones produced by the endocrine gland will reach to the target organ. That hormone will be completely utilized by the target organ to regulate its function. If perchance the hormone secreted is more and that target organs do not require that much of hormone, so the excess of hormone cannot be stored in the body, they are destroyed or they may be excreted immediately after their action is over. So along with the urine, they are being passed out. So these are the characteristics of hormones that I have taken today. You will go through all these characteristics again, listen my video and read each and every point properly. And then tomorrow I will be taking the functions of hormones and endocrine glands. Introduction I will give you in humans. Thank you.